Hello future officers, welcome back to e-education. In this segment, we revise daily current affairs with MCQ and explanation that may help you to crack your UPSC prelims. So let's start today's session. First question, consider the following statements regarding gharials. Statement 1, the Ghagra river is primary habitat of gharials. Statement 2, gharials are listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Okay. So here statement 1, Ghagra river is not the primary habitat. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2, gharials are enlisted as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List is absolutely correct. Okay. So here statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Let's see the options. We have to find out that which of the statements given above is or are not correct. Okay. So we have to find out the incorrect statement. Option A, one only. So this is the correct option. Option A. Okay. Let's see the next question. Gharials, sometimes called as gavials, are a type of Asian crocodilian distinguished by their long, thin snouts. Crocodilians are a group of reptiles that includes crocodiles, alligators, caimanes, and more. Okay. Fresh water of the northern part of India is the natural habitat of the gharials. Now, primary habitat. Chambal River, a tributary of Yamuna River, is the primary habitat of the gharials. That's why statement 1 is incorrect. Secondary habitat. Ghagra, Gandak River, Girwa River in UP, and the Ramganga River, Uttarakhand, and the Son River in Bihar are the secondary habitat of the gharials. Okay. Next, gharials or gavials gangeticus are enlisted as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. That's why statement 2 is correct. Move on to the next question. With reference to ethanol blending, consider the following statements. Okay. Statement 1, Government of India targets 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. Statement 2, increased use of ethanol can help reduce the well import bill. And statement 3, it results in increasing emission of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. Okay. Now we have to find out the correct option. Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 only. And option C, both 1 and 2 only. And option D, all are correct. Okay. So let's see once again. Government of India targets 20% of ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. So statement 1 is absolutely correct. Increased use of ethanol can help reduce the well import bill. This is also correct. It results in increasing the emission of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. This is incorrect. Okay. So here the correct option option C, that is 1 and 2 only. That are correct. Okay. Move on to the explanation. The Government of India has advanced the target for 20% ethanol blending in petrol to 2025 from 2030. That's why statement 2 is correct. And currently 8.5% of ethanol is blended with petrol in India. Okay. Now, objective of ethanol blending. Increased use of ethanol can help reduce the well import bill. India's net import cost stands at USD 551 billion in 2020 and 2021. And next, the E20 program can save the country USD 4 billion per annum. So that's why statement 2 is also correct. Now, use of ethanol blending petrol decreases emissions such as carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, and nitrogen oxides. That's why statement 3 is incorrect. Okay. Now move on to the next question. With reference to the global livability ranking, consider the following questions. Statement 1. It is an annual assessment published by the Economist Intelligence Unit, that is EIU. And statement 2, in 2021, Auckland rose to the top of the ranking. Okay. So here, first statement, it is an annual assessment published by the EIU. This is absolutely correct. Statement 2, in 2021, Auckland rose to the top of the ranking. This is also absolutely correct. Let's see the options. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So option A, one only, both are correct. So that's why statement C, option C is correct. Move on to the explanation. The Global Livability Ranking is an annual assessment published by the Economist Intelligence Unit, is absolutely correct. The index takes into account more than 30 qualitative and quantitative factors spanning 5 broad categories. So what are they? First, stability. Second, healthcare. Third, culture and environment. And fourth, education and infrastructure. Okay, so these are the 5 broad categories. Next, Auckland rose to the top of the ranking owing to its successful approach in containing the COVID-19 pandemic, which allowed its society to remain open and the city to score strongly on a number of metrics including education, culture and environment. So that's why statement 2 is correct. Now Damascus remains the world's least livable city as the effect of civil war in Syria continues to take their toll. Okay. Now move on to the next question. Which of the statements is or are correct regarding All India Survey on Higher Education 2019 to 20? First statement, the essay is released annually by Niti Aayog. Statement 2, in the last 5 years, there has been overall increase in female enrollment in higher education. And statement 3, Gender Parity Index in Higher Education in 2019-20 for females has improved as compared to males. So here the first statement, the essay released by Niti Aayog, is incorrect. And statement 2, the last 5 years there has been an overall increase in female enrollment in higher education, is absolutely correct. Gender Parity Index in higher education in 2019-20 for females has improved as compared to males. This is also absolutely correct. Let's see the options. We have to find out the correct answer. So we know the correct option 2 and 3 only, that is option B. Okay. Now move on to the explanation. The report of All India Survey on Higher Education 2019-20 provide key performance indicators on current status of higher education in the country, and it is the 10th of the series of essay annually released by the Department of Higher Education. Okay, it's not Niti Aayog. So that's why statement 1 is incorrect. Uttar Pradesh has highest student enrollment in India. It has 49.1% male and 50.9% female student, followed by Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Okay. Next. Now the female enrollment. There has been an overall increase of over 18% in female enrollment in higher education from 2015-16 to 2019-20. So that's why statement 2 is correct. However, the share of girl student is lowest in institutions of national importance, while female participation in professional courses is lower in comparison to academic courses. Okay. Now, what Gender Parity Index? Gender Parity Index in higher education in 2019-20 is 1.01 against 1 in 2018-19, indicating an improvement in the relative access to higher education for females of eligible age group compared to males. So that's why statement 3 is also correct. And now what is GPI or Gender Parity Index? This is an that indicates a parity between the sexes. A GPI that varies between 0 and 1 typically means a disparity in favor of males, whereas a GPI greater than 1 indicates a disparity in favor of females. Okay, move on to the next question. It's related to the sex schedule. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. The sex schedule of Indian Constitution provides the tribes of the freedom, the tribals, the freedom to exercise legislative and executive powers through autonomous district council. Statement 2. Each ADC is allowed to have not more than 45 members, all of which are directly elected. Statement 3. The state laws may or may not be applicable in the sixth schedule areas depending upon the approval of the governor of the state. So here the first option is absolutely correct. The sixth schedule of Indian Constitution provides the tribals the freedom to exercise legislative and executive power through autonomous district council is absolutely correct. Okay, each ADC is allowed to have not more than 45 members. This is incorrect. And statement 3, the state laws may or may not applicable in the sixth schedule areas depending upon the approval of the governor of the state. This is also absolutely correct. So 1 and 3 are correct. Let's see the options. We have to find out the correct option from here. So here are the correct option 1 and 3 only. So option D is the correct option. So this is all for this segment, and let's see the explanation. The sixth schedule of Indian Constitution deals with administration of tribal areas in the 4 northeastern states. They are Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Okay. The special provision is provided under Article 244 Part 2 and Article 275 of the Constitution. Okay. The tribals have been given freedom to exercise legislative and executive powers through an autonomous regional council and autonomous district council. This is in statement 1 and that is correct. Each autonomous districts and regional council consists not more than 30 members. Okay, but here it was 45 members. That's why statement 2 is incorrect. Of which 4 are nominated by the governor and the rest via election. All of them remain in power for a term of 5 years. So that's why statement 2 is incorrect. However, a Bodoland Territorial Council is an exception as it can constitute up to 46 members. Okay. Next, despite various degrees of autonomy, the sixth schedule area doesn't fall outside the executive authority of the state council. Okay. The act passed by the parliament and the state legislatures may or may not levy in these regions unless the president and the governor of the state gives his or her approval with or without modification in the laws for the autonomous region. So that's why statement 3 is also correct. Okay. This is all for this segment. I will bring back a new session tomorrow. Till then, stay well, keep studying, and thank you for watching.